Hello everybody, so this vlog that I have decided to do isn't the one it's not going to replace the one I usually do at the weekend. It's sort of a bit of a random midweek one, and I know I'm probably sort of like a couple of days late with doing this really because I didn't get round to doing it, but I wanted to. So the one that I'm going to do now is actually, don't know what's going on with my hair there. So it's actually I suppose like like an exam advice vlog for parents. I suppose there might be some that watch it who are actually taking exams, sitting exams right now as well, not right now this minute because it's 7:45 on a Wednesday evening. But yeah, you know what I mean. So either, I suppose, well, any external exams, so like GCSEs, there's A-levels that will be starting soon, and the GCSEs are already a couple of days into. And then, of course, some schools and colleges, they still have their pupils in year 12, which is the first year of sixth form, sitting the AS levels. So there's a lot of exams going on right now, and I just thought it might be useful or handy to do this for any sort of like first time parents with children who are going through these big exams right now, because even for us as parents it can be super stressful. And so this is our second time of having a son going through GCSEs. Our eldest son sat his GCSEs 3 years ago now. So last year he sat his A-levels, which was even more super stressful for us as parents as well. And then 2 years ago, of course, he sat his AS levels. So this is our fourth year in a row as parents with the whole exam thing. And it doesn't get any easier, I have to say, but you just have to be there to support your child through this difficult time. And the one piece of advice I would give is, as the parent, try not to worry them or stress them out too much. Try and just encourage them, reassure them that they are doing well, that they can do it, and that they just try their best. If they try their best, then there is nothing more that you or the teachers or the school or anybody can ask, because they have done their absolute best. That is what I always say to our sons. I just say, do your best and we will be proud of you no matter what, because you can't do any more than your best. So anyway, that was just a different piece of advice. But one thing that we have found helpful is to have any paperwork that is given from the school, to have it downstairs in the house where your child can access it, but then also where the parents can access it as well. So our son does have copies of these as well upstairs in his little office room, but we have copies of these downstairs as well. So for example, we have a copy of, I'm not going to show you like really in detail, but we have a copy of his sort of like timetable, revision timetable, which was sent out from the school, which is brilliant for us to have a copy of as well, so we can look through it with our son if we need to, which actually we did do in advance prior to the GCSE starting, because our son actually, even though the majority of the GCSEs started on Monday, he actually had already sat 2 of his ICT practical exams. So by Monday lunchtime, he'd actually got one subject completely done and out of the way, which was his ICT. So what we've also done, and actually I'll show you that right now. So, as I was saying, what we've also done is, now I'm not going to show you again up really close because there's information on there I don't want you to see, but what we've also done is we've put his timetable, hang on. So yeah, we have also put up on the back of, that was the kitchen door, his, sorry, I'm just going put you down again. We've put up on the back of the kitchen door his all of his exams and times. Oops, hang on, sorry, there we go. Yeah, the piece of paper with all of his exams on the back of the kitchen door. So each day when he comes home and he's completed exams that day, he can cross it off. There's a pen nearby as well, so he can just cross a line through them. We've also written on a separate piece of paper a list of all of his subjects, with in mind, once he's done all of the exams for that particular subject, he can scribble it out in as big a black line as he wants to, because then it is done, because obviously each subject has 2 exams. So that's another way of being able to help them, because I think being able to physically see the process of having sat the exams and getting nearer and nearer to that end date will be so helpful for them. And then of course the major thing is making sure they have all the right equipment for the exams. It's something like this. I've just taken my son's from his bag. He doesn't know. So yeah, obviously they have to have a clear pencil case, because they are the guidelines of the exam board. And many of you probably already are aware, like I've said, because I'm late doing this, pupils are allowed to take into the exam hall, they are allowed to have watches. They're not allowed to have smart watches, that's a complete no-no, obviously no phones. They can take normal wristwatches in, but they have to actually be taken off of their wrists now and have to be placed onto the desk in front of them. They have to have a clear pencil case. They can take in their calculator. It has to have no back, because obviously it's so that they can't take in any notes or anything. Not that many would, I'm quite sure, but they have to have it. Sharpener is always a good one to have. Pencils, always take a few. Black biro pens. Black is an absolute must. They have to write in black pen, and that's to do with when it's actually the script is being read. So always have a few of the black pens in case one runs out. Obviously for the maths paper, a compass is handy, a rubber definitely, and obviously a protractor. I also would recommend a 30cm ruler, which our son does have. I couldn't find it in his bag right now. And then the other thing I would always suggest is a highlighter. They are very useful for when your child is reading the question, to be able to actually highlight any key information in the question itself, because, and that does apply to many of the subjects, any key information that will help to save them time when they're having to look back at the question. They're not having to quickly read through it, they can just highlight it, then obviously their gaze will actually fall back on the bit that they've highlighted already. They are allowed to take water in, so we actually just use this water bottle. Obviously label has to be taken off, no writing is allowed on there, and yeah, that's it really. So other than just providing them with that support, that knowing that they are doing their best, they've got that support from home, because it is a hard time, it's so hard for them, and as going through it for a second time, it honestly doesn't, as parents, it doesn't get any easier, because obviously you just want the best for your child. And if I could sit it for him, actually no, that wouldn't be good, because he really wouldn't do well if I sat it for him. But yeah, you just want to be able to support them through it and encourage them as much as you can. If they have days when they come home and they say an exam hasn't gone well, just give them that reassurance, give them that cuddle that they need, that mum hug, and tell them that that has happened now, as unfortunate as it is. There's nothing more that they can do about that exam that has gone, that hasn't gone well, so they have to try and put that to the back of their minds and focus on the exams that are to come. And if it's the first exam of a subject, remind them that they have that second exam coming up for that subject. So, there's still the chance of getting those extra marks from that second paper. So yeah, I just thought I would do this little bit of a late advice vlog. Sorry if it's a bit rambly, and for any of you that this doesn't apply to, or if you just find it completely pointless, then sorry. But yeah, and any of you who have children out there sitting exams this time, good luck to them, and remind them that exams aren't everything. They aren't the be-all and end-all. Exams do not define a person. A person has many, many qualities, not just academic, and that is so important for them to remember. It really, really is. Basically, at the end of the day, an exam is a level, whether it be a number or a letter, and it doesn't define them as a person. There are many ways nowadays to get to where you want to be, as other than having to follow the exam path route, because they don't suit everybody. And I think that is so important nowadays for us to remind young people about. So anyway, I will leave it here. Thank you for watching. I hope some of you might have found it useful, and until my next one, which will hopefully, fingers crossed, be at the weekend, thank you and good luck to everybody. Bye for now.